Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Firstly, let me introduce myself. I'm Virdha Fitriana Dhewi. You can call me Virdha and I'm from class Translation G. Okay, in this video, I would like to present my news article resume. And there are 3 news article resume in this video. So, happy watching guys! Okay, the first news article is Nigeria's boarding schools have become a hunting ground for kidnappers. It was taken from NewYorkTimes.com. Okay, let's talk about it. Here is the news article. It was posted on 1st March 2021 by Ruth McLean. After I have read the article, I conclude that there are 6 points in my resume, and I call it 5W and 1H. The first W is what? So, what did the news say? According to the NewYorkTimes.com, more than 300 students were kidnapped by gunmen last month. The second W is who? These abductions was caused by the Islamic group Boko Haram, and they were gangs of bandits who are taking advantages from weak security and the easy of getting guns in that country. According to Balarabe Kagara, the government have not seriously yet handled this case. By the way, Balarabe Kagara is the father of 2 daughters who were kidnapped from Jangabe School in Zamfara. Babur Habib, an expert in education and security, when interviewed with Balarabe Kagara, said, "If government is not serious about it, I don't see the end of this thing. Kidnappers have now found a very creative and easy way of getting millions of naira." The third W is where. This aberration happened in boarding schools, which are common in Nigeria's northwest, and it's located outside of cities and towns where there is often no security. The fourth W is when. Actually, it has been happening since 2011. According to McHarry, a security analyst who worked on the SBM intelligence report, at least $18 million was paid to kidnappers from June 2011 to March 2020. From that report, we know that it had been happening for almost 9 years since the government did not serious to pass this issue. W is why. Actually, this abduction might happen because of some reasons. One of the factors is the economic condition of Nigeria. With Nigeria's economic crisis, kidnapping has become a growth industry. Besides that background, but looking on the issue of security in Nigeria, the abductions might happen again and again. The government must improve security around schools to protect their citizens. The kidnappers ask ransom to release the hostages. Like us other governments, the Nigerian authorities often deny that they pay ransoms. But since the government has not yet a resolution, it did. Nobody knows the number of Nigerian children currently held by kidnappers, but the UNICEF estimates that about 173 children are still missing. The last point is how. How did it happen? The bandits have so many tricks to kidnap the children. One of the cases was on Friday night in December in the government science secondary school in Kankara. Gunshots rang out. At that moment, boys ran from their dormitories, but they were tricked by bandits where they are claimed themselves as policemen. Meanwhile, rather than targeting people who can pay large ransoms, there are bandits getting more victims, although get less ransoms. But with that strategies, they get more money than usual. With those number of kidnapping, some students prefer to end their academic life due to afraid to go to school during this situation. Okay, thank you for watching my first news article resume. Now let's continue to the second one. The second news article resume is about shark that glow in the dark. Scientists discover luminous deep sea predators of New Zealand. It was taken from NBCnews.com. Let's talk about it. Here is the article. It was posted on 2nd March 2021 by Yasmin Salam. After I have read the article, I conclude that there are 6 points in my resume, and I call it 5W and an H. The first W is what? This news talks about the discovery of 3 new shark species that glow in the dark in New Zealand. They were Kitavan shark, the blackberry intern shark, and the southern intern shark. The second W is when. The discovery of those 3 predators happened during a survey on an oceanic area of New Zealand's east coast named the Chatham Rise in January 2020. The third W is where. This research is in New Zealand Sea, and this study published on the Frontiers in Marine Science journal. Now, the fourth W is who? Who did this research? The researchers in New Zealand and also led by marine biologists in Belgium and also New Zealand. Now let's continue to the fifth W, that is why. The answer is, because of unexplored wonders of the deep sea, this research is also going to find the proof of bioluminescence in sharks. This study also might change our point of view about life in the deep sea. The study, which is published on 26th of February, said, bioluminescence has often been seen as a spectacular yet uncommon event at sea, but considering the vastness of the deep sea and the occurrence of luminous organisms in the zone, it is now more and more obvious that producing light at depth must play an important role in structuring the biggest ecosystem on our planet. So, to prove that discover, further research is needed. The last point is how. How is the research going? According to the research, the shark is usually found at 300 meters below the sea level. These 3 new shark species, what is often called as the ocean's twilight zone, were found in range 200 up to 1,000 meters below the sea level. This research is also the first time scientists able to find that sharks have bioluminescence. Scientists said that the slow-moving shark uses its natural glow to illuminate the ocean's floor while it hunts to food or to camouflage where it approaches the prey. So instead of that, further research is still needed. Thanks for watching my second news article resume. Now let's continue to the last one. Last news article resume is by the title, The Best Indoor Plants and How to Care for Them. It was taken from nbcnews.com. Okay, let's talk about it. Here is the article. It was posted on 3rd December 2020 by Hannah Horvath. After I have read the article, I conclude there are 3 points in my resume. The first point is best indoor plants. The second point, how to care for indoor plants. And the last point, indoor plants shopping consideration. Let's start with the first one, the best indoor plants. In this pandemic situation, which has been happening since December 2019, it's not curious if people are going to be bored and stressed because of staying at home for a long time. The government of each country has restricted their citizen activities in outdoor to decrease the spread of COVID-19. To reduce your stress, you may be looking for a way to brighten up your space. Houseplants are one of the ways to face this situation. You can grow your own indoor garden, whether you live in a small apartment or even in a large house. Here are the experts' plant recommendations. Devil's Eye. According to the director of brand marketing of online plant retailer, Erin Marino, these houseplants grows quickly and does best in bright indirect light, but can tolerate low light. Gardeners only need to water every 1 or 2 weeks. Second, ZZ plant. It's low maintenance. It only needs medium or low indirect light and water every 2 or 3 weeks. 3 is string of pears. These unique plants require bright indirect light and are best when placed near a window. It only needs to be watered every 1 or 2 weeks. Number 4. Athurium. This plant needs bright indirect light or medium indirect light. It's a beautiful plant with pink bloom and green leaves. Number 5 is Pilodendron. These plants are easy adaptable to most environment occasion and only need to water every 1 or 2 weeks. Last is snake plants. This plant needs a bit more light than others, but gardeners only need to water it every 2 or 3 weeks. The second point is how to care for indoor plants. House plants have a different treatment. It depends on the type of the plant. Here are some general guidelines to keep your plants healthy. The first, underwatering is better than overwatering. Check the soil before you water the plant. If it is still moist, hold off. Number 2, feed your plant. You should change the soil or report every season. The third, keep the environment stable. Avoid placing your plants near fans, radiators, and open window. Finally, we're going to the last point. That is, indoor plant shopping considerations. There are 4 tips. The first, start with small plants. Second, buy smart. Third, get a planter. The last, prepare for post-greenhouse blues. That's all from me. Thanks a lot for your nice attention, and I apologize for all mistakes I have done. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. If there are any questions, feel free to ask me.